The second film in the Bonzo cinematic universe is Bonzo Goes to College. While this is technically a sequel to Bedtime for Bonzo, every single character is different and none of the original actors return. Even the actor playing Bonzo is different. In the comment section of the previous Monkey Box episode, some people were surprised that my review didn't include the fun fact that the monkey actor who played Bonzo died in a fire shortly after producing the movie. Now, I know that a large portion of my audience lives in Indonesia, and this sort of thing is considered hilarious in your culture, but a cute, talented monkey horrifically burning to death isn't exactly the type of anecdote I'm looking for in these comedy monkey reviews. I make one joke about the Holocaust and I get banned from Blue Sky, but when it's a monkey burning alive, suddenly everybody wants to yuck it up. Anyway, since this movie doesn't feature a future president as the lead actor, I guess film preservationists didn't consider it all that important. I couldn't find this movie available for streaming or purchase anywhere online except for a 240p upload here on YouTube. Is this a sign that the movie wasn't worth preserving, or are we about to unearth a hidden gem? Let's dive in, starting with some monkey hijinks. As you may remember, Bedtime for Bonzo ended with Ronald Reagan and his lovely new lady friend driving off into the sunset with Bonzo in the back seat. Bonzo Goes to College opens with Bonzo working as a circus attraction called The World's Smartest Chimpanzee. Why isn't Bonzo with Ronald Reagan anymore? How did Bonzo end up in this situation? The film answers these questions by completely ignoring them and wasting our time with the most insanely slow-paced filler I've seen in any monkey movie. Let's get something straight. This is not a real sequel to Bedtime for Bonzo. When they call Bonzo the world's smartest chimpanzee, they aren't kidding. It isn't a circus trick. He's literally a super genius who knows everything. People in the audience ask him random questions, from algebra equations to sports statistics. And Bonzo correctly answers these questions by writing on a chalkboard that he's slightly too short for. What is this? A Stephen Hawking sex fantasy?
All right, Mr. Crimmins, proceed with your question.
If a banana and a half cost a cent and a half, how many would I get for a quarter?
Did you hear that, Bonzo? You're forgetting that Bonzo here is a genius. So please, let's not make questions too easy.
The original Bonzo was not a super genius who could comprehend English. His whole gimmick was that he liked to steal shiny things. It's almost like whoever wrote this movie had never seen the original. It's almost like Bedtime for Bonzo was a huge success, and this was a hastily thrown together cash grab aping off the success of a superior film. But let's not throw the monkey out with the bathwater. So what if this is a fake Bonzo sequel with no actual continuity from the original? At least this is still a monkey movie with a real monkey actor. How bad could it be? The opening 5 full minutes of this 78-minute movie is the monkey slowly writing on the chalkboard with no music or commentary. This is how you hook your audience at the beginning of your movie? This is less monkey hijinks and more monkey high school. Anyway, a couple of con men in the audience have a sports almanac full of phony statistics. So when Bonzo correctly answers their question, it looks like he actually got it wrong.
After all I've done for you, I'm the one that kept you from going to the zoo. Now I'm sorry I did. That's the second mistake you've made this month.
Oh, let up on the little guy, will you, Dick? You only missed DiMaggio's batting average by 1 point.
Well, that 1 point cost me 275 smackers. Maybe a few days on the bench will help you recover your memory. But if it doesn't, you're through. You understand, Bonzo? T-H-R-E-W, through.
After getting chewed out by his circus ringleader, Bonzo decides to leave the circus life behind and writes a note that says, "Goodbye forever." In the previous film, Bonzo's preferred mode of transportation was a tricycle, and it was a real delight to watch that monkey work the pedals. In this movie, he just walks to a truck and gets in. There's no whimsy, no hijinks. He just walks over and jumps in the back. They do attempt to make a joke out of this. When Bonzo gets out of the truck, the driver checks the back and finds nothing but banana peels. Evidently, Bonzo ate 500 pounds of bananas all by himself. Not a terrible joke, a bit too cartoony for live action, but it's not bad. The problem is, we don't see the monkey do this. He doesn't eat a single banana on screen. And I can't count something as monkey hijinks unless we actually see the monkey do it. Bonzo shimmies up a random 2-story house, enters through the window, and starts unpacking. After befriending the homeowner's daughter, the family decides to adopt Bonzo. The next morning, the world's most intelligent chimp tries eating toothpaste for breakfast.
Hurry up, Bonzo. Breakfast must be ready. Bonzo.
Could this be an inconsistency of the character, or is something darker at play? Fans of The Depression Chamber may recall that eating toothpaste is a top-tier suicide method. Could the burden of Bonzo's vast intelligence be causing this suicidal behavior? It's not out of the question, as in the original film, Bonzo attempts suicide by jumping off a building. Is the screenwriter doing a callback to Bonzo's most relatable character trait, or is this shit just straight up retarded? Now at the breakfast table for a proper meal, Bonzo is very polite, tucking his bib and eating with a spoon, unlike in the previous film where he was constantly throwing slop in Ronald Reagan's face.
Bonzo!
They dress him up all fancy and take him to a courthouse so they can talk to a judge about adoption. But when they get in the elevator, everyone freaks out and runs away.
Judge Simpkins' office?
4th floor.
Thank you.
Were white people really that afraid of monkeys in 1952? He's well-dressed, he's well-behaved, he's educated, he's far more civilized than the average monkey you see on the street, and yet they were still prejudiced against him. While his new owner is chatting with a judge, Bonzo sneaks away and into an active session of court where a man is being cross-examined about his wife's infidelity. Basically, this dude is a cuck, and when they ask the bull to take the stand, Bonzo runs into the room and jumps up there. And you can tell this is the best joke in the movie, because everyone on screen starts laughing.
You mean, did she sneak around the corner to meet him?
Yes. And you still insist that Mr. Greer alienated your wife's affections from you?
Yes. Positively, yes. And what she sees in him is beyond me.
That will be all. Call Mr. Greer to the stand.
Elmer Greer, take the stand.
I don't see what she sees in him either.
Get it? It's funny because they're black.
Back at home, Bonzo relaxes by playing solitaire, taking a bath, and sleeping. Now I know what you're thinking. We are 48 minutes into a 78-minute movie called Bonzo Goes to College, and Bonzo has not gone to college one time. He spent more time at college in Bedtime for Bonzo, and he's spending more time in bed in Bonzo Goes to College. This is the most Psyduck, Gold Duck bullshit I've ever experienced with monkey movies. Well, the sad reality is, this film was clickbait. Your imagination would suggest a film about a monkey going to religious studies to debate the professor, playing some frisbee on the quad, popping Molly at a frat party, or writing an entire essay the night before it's due. But really, the college portion of this film lasts all of 2 minutes. After discovering Bonzo's monkey strength can be used to throw a football, the family's football coach grandpa decides to enroll Bonzo as a student so he can play on the team. So we get a brief scene of Bonzo taking the entrance exams, which is represented by Bonzo chewing on a pencil. That's right, they rewrote Bonzo's character to be a super genius so that he could pass the entry exams to play football. We are then treated to a montage of Bonzo training with proper exercise equipment, which is fun but very brief. He becomes the star player of the football team, and this leads to a news story that is seen by the con men from the beginning of the film. They come up with a scheme where they'll place a big bet on the game, then they'll kidnap Bonzo and replace him with a different monkey that won't carry the team to victory. The kidnappers leave Bonzo locked in a hotel room, but he is freed by a housekeeper who unlocks the door. Now, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but when the maid opens the door, Bonzo screams and jumps at her, and then there's a strange cut in the footage.
Can I make up your room now? Well, finally.
Bonzo makes his way to the big game, takes his rightful place on the team, and scores the game-winning touchdown while the enemy team constantly falls to the ground trying to tackle him. The con men lose all their money, and the day is saved. This movie was obviously a huge downgrade in the hijinks department, and I think the basic premise is to blame. Rewriting Bonzo's character to make him a genius restricts the believable monkey hijinks that can ensue. Half the time, Bonzo is solving math equations, reading books, and displaying proper table manners, which makes sense for a genius monkey, but it doesn't qualify as delightful cinematic hijinks. The other half of the time, Bonzo is eating toothpaste and throwing fruit at people. Definitive monkey hijinks, but these behaviors don't make sense with the established character. The original Bonzo had carefully choreographed stunts with vacuum cleaners and tricycles, and there's really nothing like that in this movie. It's as if the filmmakers didn't want to put in the creativity or the effort of training this chimp to perform fun stunts. So it is with great disappointment that in terms of monkey hijinks, I give this film 3 out of 10 bananas. The death of the original Bonzo is one of the greatest tragedies in chimp cinematic history. The new Bonzo had big shoes to fill, and unfortunately he remained barefoot. Maybe the director of the film didn't give Bonzo's actor enough direction. Some of his acting choices are just baffling. If Bonzo is supposed to be literate, why is he playing with a book instead of reading it? And when he takes the college entry exam, we don't even see him pretend to write an answer. He just chews on the pencil. At no point in the movie is this character believable. And in my opinion, the blame falls on the monkey. Now you might be thinking, but Jimmy, this chimp was trained to write on a chalkboard in English. Surely that's worth some performance points. Unfortunately, with a keen eye for detail, one truth prevails. And the truth in this situation is, they made a monkey arm prop to fake the stunt. That's right! The 5 full minutes of insufferable filler isn't even showcasing a genuine monkey stunt. It's just a simple, cheap effect to waste our fucking time. In terms of monkey performance, I'm giving this one another 3 out of 10 bananas. If you thought the monkey plot was disappointing, just wait until you hear about the human characters. The family is worried that their daughter has fallen into a deep depression because she hasn't been eating lately. But I'm starting to think her issue might be with the food options.
Anything wrong, sweetheart?
No,
Nancy tells me you haven't eaten a thing.
I guess I just wasn't hungry.
How about a nice hamburger? Or a hot dog?
No thanks.
Only in America will a mother try to cure her daughter's depression by offering a hamburger. The girl's football coach grandpa comes over and tries to cheer her up by revealing he bought a secret gift that is waiting for her in her bedroom. Little does he know, Bonzo just snuck in through the window, which leads to some comedic misunderstandings.
Oh, Mother, you should see what Gramps got me.
I know, darling. I saw it.
You saw it and you don't mind?
Well, of course not. I had one when I was a little girl.
You never told me.
After talking to the judge about adopting Bonzo, the girl writes a letter to her other grandpa claiming she now has a new brother. But she somehow fails to mention the monkey part. Now, this grandpa is an old school misogynist, as in he was literally born in the 1800s. The only thing he cares about is having a grandson, to the point where he neglects and ignores his family since they only have a daughter. But with the news of a grandson, the sexist grandpa comes to visit and says he has changed his will to leave the grandson every cent of his fortune. This, of course, leads to a poorly executed and generally unfunny scene where the family is trying to hide Bonzo from the sexist grandpa, but monkey hijinks ensues with fruit getting thrown all over. I guess in this scene, Bonzo just forgot he was a civilized, polite, literate genius. Oops. The original Bonzo film had themes of eugenics and suicide that gave the viewer something to mentally chew on after the film ends. This film has no such depth, and the only thoughts I had as the credits rolled were how the movie could have been better. The title was a rare double clickbait, which was revolutionary in 1952. They lied about this being a continuation of Bonzo's story, and they lied about the film featuring a monkey going to college. This movie was a major disappointment, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Go watch the original Bonzo instead. In terms of overall movie quality, I'm giving this one 4 out of 10 bananas, giving it a final score of 10 out of 30. An absolutely damning score for a movie featuring an actual monkey actor. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video to the end. If you like the videos I make, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a member of this channel. I'll be back with more Monkey Box and Medea Marathon soon. Plus, maybe a new wheel video. Okay, bye.